Let me turn to Dame Shirley Bassey. She is set to become the first female solo artist in British history to be honoured with a stamp series. Royal Mail revealed its first look at 12 stamps, which take avid stamp collectors through a journey of her career. 8 stamps shows Dame Shirley performing on stage, a further 4 captured during recording sessions and rehearsals. And why don't we, on this Thursday morning, have a little bit of her in action now? Always feels rude to interrupt Dame Shirley Bassey with Get the Party Started. Well, joining me is Welsh music journalist Jude Rogers. Welcome back to Women's Hour, Jude.
Thank you.
So, are you ready to buy some Dame Shirley Bassey stamps? How did you feel when you heard the news?
Oh, they're fabulous, aren't they? They look so amazing. There's nothing tears you up in the morning than pictures of Shirley in her various outfits, in action. Yeah, it's great. I think it's very easy to forget her contribution to British pop culture, really. And when we think about, the great female artists of the UK, I think that Shirley does get forgotten a bit. I think that might be because of her colour. I think it might be because she's Welsh. Probably more her colour, though. I think a lot of, and the fact that her career started in 1953. And she's still, she made an album 3 years ago. It's incredible. She's not talked about in the same breath as, like, Cliff Richard. And she's had a longer career than him.
Yeah, and that's so interesting, though, that you feel she's not spoken about in those terms. And you are also Welsh, so obviously you'd be following her maybe a little bit closer than others as well. But does something like this make a difference? I mean, it does show her over the years, it is celebrating her life and achievements. I mean, what does it mean to be on a stamp?
I think it's, national treasure status, isn't it? She has been a national treasure for many, many years. She was a dame in the last century. And I think it's very easy to kind of forget her contribution. As I said, she's had albums that have been in the top 40 in the last 7 decades. Those facts like that, though, can just be in the news and then disappear. Seeing the stamps, that will be everywhere in the media, and it's a lovely celebration. And them being a visual celebration also helps as well, because there's something about the joy of Shirley's music. If you like that show-stopping vocal or not, there's so many memories people will have of her. Earlier this year, I went to a self-esteem gig, and a disco mix of one of her songs was played at the end. She still feels relevant. For Welsh people, we think of her in '99 at the Rugby World Cup wearing her Welsh flag dress. She's got that camp element about her as well, that makes just people's hearts brim over.
That will be one of the stamps, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. It's like it's a sequin dragon, however.
Yeah, it's like it's a bit like 2 flags, sewn together, but obviously not. Obviously, much more expensive because it's Shirley.
And
but
why
yeah,
not?
She was brilliant there.
I mean, what does she mean to you? You allude to it briefly there in Wales and kind of going to the self-esteem gig as well. But talk me through it a little bit more.
I think given, what she's made of her career, given her upbringing, she was born in B-Town in Cardiff, into a very, chaotic family, lots of kids, parents there and not there. And, she left school at 14 and went to work in the steelworks. That was her, her path was like that. She had must have encountered so much racism in that part of Cardiff. We know her as the girl from Tiger Bay. That is a very multicultural area of Cardiff. Cardiff being a big port city. But she made her way, so early in her career as a teenager. She had a child as a teenager as well, who then got brought up by her sister. But she had this, very full-on life, and had her first #1 in the late 50s. We think of her straight away as the Bond singer. I always do. And there's nothing better than trying to do Goldfinger at a karaoke session in my book.
Do you try it?
Yeah, exactly. Belting it out. But she's also talked about how when she was a little girl, she was told off for singing in the corridors of school because she was so loud. I was talking to the singer Rowetta from the Happy Mondays, who had the same thing, and it's something about the young black girl kind of voicing herself and not being allowed. And she fought through that despite herself. And I absolutely love that about her story.
Will you be buying the stamps?
Yes, of course I will. I'll be kind of sending postcards from Welsh locations to all my non-Welsh friends.
And if you had a favourite song of Shirley Bassey, what would it be?
Oh, I was thinking about this. I do love the Performance of My Life, which is a song the Pet Shop Boys wrote for her, which is on an album that came out in the 2000s with lots of covers by the stars, which showed how loved she was. That is a great one. But yeah, I think listen to that one. Or as I said, the disco mix of This Is My Life is it's just wonderful. People conga to it at self-esteem gigs. It's brilliant.
So brilliant. Welsh music journalist Jude Rogers speaking to us about Dame Shirley Bassey, who will become the first female solo artist in British history to be honoured with a stamp series. Joined by the actress